Alright, so this is our old equation that I brought over from the last page. The only difference is I noticed that while doing this that ki was a common factor, so I just pulled it out. And I simplified it. I could have pulled out 3 too, but I didn't. So basically what this is looking like this, and then you plug it in, and this is what your equation looks like. This is 3 times 1.5. And your I should equal 3.7 times 10 to the negative fourth. So now it's time for part B, which is kind of the hard part. It's asking how high do you have to rise your substrate level to make it equal the original velocity. And this is what's going to happen, is you're going to have the VO equals VI once again. But now we're going to have, in order to have our VI, we're going to have, we're going to change our substrate level to S prime. And the reason is because we have this inhibition now, in that we're changing our substrate level. So that's our VO, our VI. This is V max too, sorry. It's going to be S V max S prime, because this is a different substrate level, 1 plus I over Ki plus S prime. Solve this in a very similar way. I'm going to reverse multiply this one now, just because it's easier that way. Less stuff to write. So now I'm going to do 1 equals Km plus S times S prime V max divided by Km 1 plus I over Ki plus S prime times V max S normal. We can cancel out our V maxes. And then we can distribute out our S prime in our S. So now we're going to have 1 equals, actually I'm just going to leave these there. So now it's going to be Km plus S prime divided by Km 1 plus I over Ki plus S prime times S. I said I was going to distribute these out, but I changed my mind. So now I'm going to multiply this side. I'm going to set these equal to each other. So now what I'm getting is Km plus S prime equals, multiplying this out, Km 1 plus I over Ki plus S prime S. The whole goal here is to get S prime by itself. That's what we're solving for. We have things for everything else. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to divide by this. And so now we're going to have S prime is going to equal Km 1 plus I over Ki plus S prime S divided by Km plus S. Okay, so now what can we do? Just gonna double check something, I'll be right back. Okay guys, I'm back. I just wanted to do all the nasty little calculations. So don't be too scared by this, but basically all I really did, I got to here. There's all these nasty little variables and stuff like that. So I wanted to actually plug in numbers because I had all these numbers versus doing more algebra. And I mean, you can do it either way. You can keep on simplifying until you really do get only one S. But sometimes it's better to plug it in and get one number for this whole term because these are all constants. These are all constants, so we can get one number for that term and stuff like that. And you just kind of have to weigh it against, you know, what you're comfortable with. I'm comfortable with working it like this. So all I did is I plugged in my Km value times 1 plus I value that we solved for up here divided by the Ki plus S prime, which is what we're solving for, times our original substrate concentration divided by Km plus our substrate. I ended up this number for this whole thing. This is still my substrate concentration. And I ended up 1.79 times 10 to the negative third for my bottom, which is this plus this. Okay? Then what you can do is you can distribute this bottom out to each one. You can distribute out to this one and this one, as well as you can distribute this 1.5 times 10 to the negative third out here. What you could have done as well is you could have taken this number, or taken this substrate concentration divided by this, and then distribute it out. Either way will be fine. Either way, I got 8.49 times 10 to the negative 6 divided by 1.79 times 10 to the negative third. And then I got this, 1.79 times 10 to the negative third, and up here 1.5 times 10 to the negative third. So was that simplifies out to S prime equals 4.74 times 10 to the negative 4 plus S prime times 0.838. You subtract the S prime, and you're going to get 0.162 S prime equals 4.74 times 10 to the negative third. When you divide this out, you divide this, you get S prime equals 2.93 times 10 to the negative 2. So in order for your velocity equation, the inhibition velocity, so basically what this is saying is if you have a certain level of inhibition, a certain amount of inhibitor, you're going to have to raise your substrate concentration to this amount before in order to reestablish your original velocity. So let's just say hypothetically our velocity was 100. Right? When we add our inhibitor, now it's 25 because it's 75% inhibited. 75% of 100 minus that is going to be 25 of our velocity, so 25 velocity. And that's going to be our velocity after we add in set amount of inhibitor. In order to get our velocity back to 100, we're going to have to raise our substrate concentration to this amount, a minimum of this amount, in order to beat out the inhibitor. And yep, that's all it's going to be. And I hope this helped.